Hot Pepper. Our sponsors for today, the best hot sauce you will ever try. Sriracha with a twist. Hot Pepper.
Available at no supermarkets at no cost.
At no cost. You will not find it anywhere except here. Hot Pepper. Blois Hot Pepper. And welcome to another episode of our Spanish Patio. In our little quick tip series, this is 3 myths we're gonna bust for you. Mr. Blois, enlighten us.
3 gardening old ladies' tales which are bull. There you go, beep that motherfucker out.
I will.
Number 1.
Banana.
But the banana has a lot of potassium, and potassium is good for plants. So the myth is you put banana peels in the bottom of a plant when you're repotting it, and the potassium is going to go up and make the plant nice and healthy. And why is it BS? Well, because it starts decomposing, it sucks out all the nitrogen out of the soil, and it actually makes the plant weaker and doesn't get rid of any potassium until it's decomposed. So BS numero uno.
Myth number 1, busted. Myth number 2,
Coffee grounds.
coffee grounds.
People say you put coffee grounds after you've had your coffee. You get the coffee grounds that have been used, and you put them, mixing them with the soil. And it's like an organic thing that was going to release some nitrogen, which is going to help it grow, and it lowers down the pH a little bit because it's slightly acidic. So if you have something like some of the plants that like more acidic soils, that's what they do it. So if you put it before it's decomposed with your plants, not only once it's being used, it doesn't have that acidity and it doesn't have that level of nitrogen readily available, but it actually sucks out the goodness of the plants. And if you put it in your plants at home, which I've done, I've done this, you know, on the top, it looks kind of cool. It ends up going moldy and manky, and it just is no good.
It does make sense. If you say it like this, it does make sense. Okay, moving on. Myth number 3.
This one is my fave, and I gotta admit, I believed the hype, and I saw the videos, and I did it for ages. One of the big things, whenever you're into gardening and you look at any kind of videos, it tells you that you should have really good drainage, yeah? And that's true. Most plants want really good drainage. And what no end of experts tell you is to put a layer of gravel, little stones, at the bottom of the pot before you put the plant in, because it will improve the drainage.
I'm sorry, that's not a myth. That actually works. I do it. You see all those plants behind? We do that.
Okay, so here's the logic. It's bollocks. Yeah. Why is it bollocks? Because all you're doing is reducing how much the plant has for soil and roots.
Yeah, but you're
just making your plant pot, instead of this big. You just put a bunch of stones at the bottom.
Well, I mean,
the drainage will only improve once it hits the stones, which is no different than once it hits the bottom of the pot. There's no logic in it. Absolutely zero.
I'm sorry, we didn't discuss this before we started this project. I'm not happy with that. But it's only a little layer we put here.
How is that going to improve? Somebody explain that. It just heightens the table of soil and doesn't make any chuffing difference whatsoever.
Okay.
If you want a bit better draining soil, which is why we would do that, then you want to mix something with your soil that's kind of, put a little bit of gravel with your soil, mix it in. Then it's more airy and the water can go through it. Making your plant pot half the size but putting a bunch of stones at the bottom of it just makes your plant pot half the size.
All right, so the drainage. Okay, I see. So the drainage, of course, I mean, once the water
reaches the end of the soil,
it's already drained. Okay, I see your point.
There's air, right? Okay. So if I just lift that up there and put a bunch of stones, then at the end of those stones, it's just gonna
drain faster. But once it's okay, I see it. So you have a layer of stones, and once the water reaches there, it drains faster. But anywhere
the party's finished by then. Yeah, by then it's like, who cares where the water goes after?
Okay, I see what you mean.
Get some sand or some fine gravel or something. You need it to be, if the soil is too heavy and you want to improve drainage, then just mix it in with the soil, and then yes, when you water it, it's not going to clump together like little bits of mud.
You see, this is why this man is my friend, because he enlightens me for this kind of fallacies I've been construing through for years and years of gardening that I've been working on.
Just, I think generally with any of these myths,
Hot pepper. With any myth, hot pepper.
with any myth, just think about it logically. If it doesn't make sense to you, try it, test it. See, you know, it's not hard to test. You know, get 2 pots, one you put gravel in, one you don't, put water in it, and to see which one does better.
All right, I'm convinced. Myth number 3, busted. Thank you very much, Mr. Bloy. You have made me, I'm not sure if you made me happier, but you made me feel like a fool, that's for sure.
And anything like putting bits of, you know, things have to decompose before they're useful for planting. That's why you have compost heaps. If you take a bunch of leaves that have just fallen off your tree and you put them in your plants and mix it together, it's just going to suck out all the nutrients whilst it decomposes.
sense.
That's just basic science.
That makes sense. All right. So that's it. 3 and hot pepper. See you in the next episode.